What's going on, guys? All summer, we've been going to the beach, taking the Raptor out there. And what do I do when I go in the sand? I air down my tires. Every time I go out there with my little valve stem tool, spin, 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 and then I'm just sitting there waiting for I don't even know how long. And it's 100 degrees outside in this eastern North Carolina heat. It's just unbearable. So naturally, I waited till September when it's cool to come up with a better solution. Now I know there are solutions out there like MORRFLATE and Super Inflate and Inflate All 4, all those brands, but I don't want to pay, I think it's $300, some of them, $200 to $300 for a hose that connects to all 4 of my tires. In comes the Rainforest Special, Amazon. We're just gonna use some 3/8 air hose and we're gonna make our own. And this will take care of airing back up too. Because when I air back up, I've got this thing and it's just, and literally it takes probably 30 minutes and 2 batteries to air up all my tires. And you know, don't tell rigid, but I don't really let it cool down in between. It runs for way too long at a time and it's just not good. Let me show you guys what we got going on. For the hose, you're gonna wanna get 50 feet of 3/8 hose and get the PVC rubber hybrid. That way it's durable, but also it can be clamped down on these barbs we're gonna be using. Teflon tape for sealing. You're gonna need a 3/8 female junction block, 1/4 inch ball valve, one side female, one side male. I'm using fuel injection hose clamps, so we get maximum clampage. You got your wheel chucks, so this will clamp onto the valve stem. Need some brass tees, 3/8 male barbs, and a 3/8 pressure gauge. Now let's go ahead and start making this thing. All right, so you're gonna take your hose, take it end to end, and we're gonna measure 2 12-foot sections. Now, same thing. Put the 2 ends together and we're gonna get 2 8-foot sections. And the final cut is 2 3-foot sections. And then you have this guy slinking around. Now for your 2 12-foot sections, these are gonna go to your tires. So you're gonna take these ends off and replace it with those wheel chucks. Take our Teflon tape, wrap it around, get our chuck, then just finish tightening that up with a wrench. So this 12-foot section of hose is gonna chuck to the rear tire and come up to the front. At the end of your 12-foot section, you're gonna put one of your 3/8 tees. Then you're gonna connect your 3-foot section and put that at the middle part of the tee. If you're having trouble putting it together, soapy water usually does the trick. So that's what it should look like after that's done. Then at the end of your 3-foot section, can't forget the hose clamp. You're gonna put one of your male barbs. Ooh, that is a tight one. We're gonna spray some water on this one. You put the barb in, tighten down the hose clamp, and then screw your chuck onto your barb. And don't forget the Teflon tape. See, this is one thing you don't want to do. You got this all clamped up and you've got your barb put in. But yeah, I forgot that hose clamp. To give you a really bad visual, you got your 12-foot long piece going into the tee, and then also straight out is your 8-foot long piece. And on the part coming out of the T is your 3-foot long piece. 3-foot long piece has a male barb and a tire chuck, and your 12-foot long piece has a male barb and a tire chuck. We're gonna connect both lines together through this 8-foot long piece, and there's gonna be a T connecting them. Next, we're gonna start making our, I don't know what you call it, manifold, whatever. It's gonna have the gauge there. Barb, female distribution block, T, ball valve. Man, I cannot focus, or maybe my eyes are blurry. And then another barb. Wrap it in Teflon, put it all together. After you put your manifold together, you take your last piece and cut it, I don't know, cut about 6 inches off, attach it to your T, attach it to the manifold, screw your pressure gauge in, and then put the rest of your line. At the end, you're gonna put your last barb fitting on. Now, I was gonna go for a female quick disconnect that could just go onto the compressor, but then that won't let me let air out. So I'm gonna go to a male and get a double female coupler thing. So I've made a pretty significant error that you guys should know about. It's all hooked up, and I was wondering, why isn't my gauge reading anything? Well, it's because I put the manifold on backwards. The valve needs to be on the outlet side, because if it's on the inlet, you're not gonna get any air. I have fixed the manifold now. We're reading 44 PSI, which is perfect. That's what the tires need to be. Now what we're gonna do is time how long it takes these meaty 35s to deflate to about, we'll go with, let's do 20 PSI. That's about what I put them down to on the beach, 18 to 20. So start the timer. So our gauge is at, yeah, right around 20. 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And that was with checking every now and then, closing the valve, making sure it wasn't going too low. So that's definitely a lot better than what she used to be. Let's see how long it takes to fill it back up to 44. We've got my air hose coming from the garage. Hooked her up. Reset this. Start. And let's go. At about 44 PSI, 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Way better than it was before. I don't think I showed you guys how I finished off the hose. So I ended up putting a male quick connect, barb and a male quick connect, because then I can just let the air out and hook it up to a compressor. But for my portable compressor, like if you have something off Amazon, or I don't know, if you have any of those compressors, you get you, I cut probably 8 to 10 inches off, maybe a foot off the hose, and put a barb on either end and did a female quick connect. So that way you can hook it up there, and if you need a female, you got it. Really happy with the results. For 100, 115, 120 bucks, I won't have to sit out in the heat of Eastern North Carolina. You know how it gets out here. You can deflate all of them in about 2.5 minutes and inflate all of them in 3 minutes and whatever seconds. And that'll, of course, depend on your air compressor. So I use my shop compressor, which is, I don't know, I had it set on 70 or 80 PSI. And at 40, it moves 6.8 CFM. And at 90, it moves 5 point something. Your mileage may vary with whatever compressor you use. I'm probably gonna get one of those, I think it's called all-top compressors off Amazon, twin compressor. Basically a ARB knockoff. I'll take a tally of however many barbs or fittings or whatever I used, and I'll list it in the description and give you guys a little Amazon link. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, go get them revs.